Hey everyone, it's Sunny, and welcome on this interview FONER for WAM TV. And I have the pleasure, the great pleasure to have Klara FORCE from the Earth today.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Guitarist, guitar player, because in France you say
That's right.
guitarist from the Earth. So how are you, Clara, today? Because you're in promotion in Paris, if I remember
Yeah.
well. So how are you today?
It's great. We just had a great lunch here in Paris.
Yeah.
Walked the beautiful streets of Paris, and we're here to talk about our new album that we're really proud of. So it couldn't be better.
Yeah, because like it's a first album of the Earth. Huh? It's the first album.
Yes,
It's a
it's our
debut
debut.
album. It's a debut album, yes. And this album will be released November 2nd, if I remember well.
You remember correctly.
Oh, that's nice. That sounds great. It's a good beginning. It's a good start.
Yeah.
For the because to explain a little bit the context about the band, the band called the Earth. So your new band. So
Yeah.
you create you and your friends, because you play with two other members of Crucified Barbara, because you were in Crucified Barbara 2 years ago, because you ended the
Yeah.
band 2 years ago, and at the big
Correct.
and at the beginning of last year, in 2017, if I remember well, you create the Earth. So
That's right. You got all the facts
okay,
straight.
okay. How can you because in this band you have Pepper Potemkin, so it's a burlesque artist. It's a
Yes.
artist as a singer in this band.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. And at the guitar you have one of the most famous in the metal European metal music.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's Skinny. It's Skinny, the guitarist from Despotz.
He's actually the bass player in
The bass player,
Despotz,
okay,
but
and
with us, he plays the guitar.
Okay, okay, all right. So no problem about this. And I want to know, how came the idea to create this band, because you left Crucified Barbara in 2016, so 2 years ago, and
That's
1 year
right.
later you create another band, so a new project, a new musical project. So we
Yeah.
are, and how came the idea to play with your other formers of Crucified Barbara, and to play with Skinny and Pepper in this band?
Yeah, when we quit Crucified Barbara, we were like, both at the same time, we were both relieved and a bit sad, because it, of course, playing music, being creative is wonderful. It's the best thing. So we felt like, okay, Crucified Barbara, it's finished, and that's good. But there's more music in us. We
Okay.
need to start another band. And so at first we just started jamming, me, Ida, and Nikki, not like with any specific goal other than to, like, we love playing music. And then we felt like, oh, okay, but this is not sounding too bad. Maybe we should do something with this. And we felt like we need a second guitar, because I love guitars. You need plenty of guitars. And we need to have a kick-ass singer. And both Skinny and Pepper are old friends of ours. So basically, we just thought about great people that we thought we could have good chemistry with, but also were great musicians. And so we asked them, and both of them fortunately said yes to join our band, which is awesome.
Yeah, because hopefully they accepted to come and join the band
Yeah.
to hopefully precise, hopefully, because we are not you can be here today to talk about the album. So
Yeah, no,
it's
yeah, exactly. No, but they had the same vision as us, and thought the few songs we had started writing, it sounded great, and then we wrote the entire album together, the five of us. So it's a group effort. All of us has written the music and the lyrics.
And because you talk about the music and the lyrics in your answer. Um, I listen. Like I said in the beginning of this interview, I listen the album. So the island. I repeat again. Released releasing date November 2nd on Despotz Records. And
Yeah, that's right.
yet I want to know because this album is kind of like I said off before this interview. Uh, it sounds a mystical music, like a kind of mysticism, you know, because you
Yeah.
have a dark, a dark, like a dark atmosphere in this album, but the music and the voice of Pepper sounds really lightful, and it's a contrast between the voice and the music played and the dark atmosphere in this album.
Yeah, but for the atmosphere in the album, we definitely knew we wanted to bring out the dark, and
Yeah.
the scary and the sad. It was like a plan for us to do a concept album with these elements, and I think Pepper's voice works perfectly with the vision. She's such a great storyteller. She doesn't just sing great, but she actually tells the lyrics in an awesome way, like a storyteller, which I think it suits this concept album perfectly.
Yeah, because it's your like I said, it's your debut album. It's your debut album. So for your debut album, it's a concept album. So
Yes.
so because sometimes many bands want to play only songs and not a concept album for the beginning. And it's very bold. It's very bold to play and to start a band a debut album by a concept album. So it's really bold.
It is maybe. I think you're right. It's a little bit weird, and it's maybe not very up to date or modern with concept albums.
Yeah.
But we felt it was such an interesting way of writing music, like going into the characters and the stories and this imaginary place of the island. And it was truly a great way of getting in touch with our creativity. It was fun and interesting for us to write music this way. It was definitely completely different to the writing process that I've had before anyways, and this was more interesting, more fun, and it was easier.
Yeah, it's I think it's totally different, and this kind of difference make a good artist, because you can play like I said before, you can play and write and composing some songs and make a debut album like many bands, but you make the bet to play and to compose a concept album. So I want to insist on this part. So I really love this kind of risk.
Yeah, good. I'm happy to appreciate it because I think it actually shows that the record we made is like a love child for us. It's we put all our feelings and all our hopes and despairs into it, and for me it works out really well when you make up this fictional place and you tell the stories from that point of view. It's more like maybe a fictional writer or something, which was so much fun.
Yeah, have you some influence like you say like you say the answer, it's a fictional place, so the island is a fictional place too. And have you some influences in because actually we have many series, sitcoms on Netflix or other platforms on the internet to some fictions like this. Have you took some influences on this kind of sitcoms series to?
I didn't quite understand. Sorry.
Sorry. I want to know if you have some to build this concept album, to build the place about the island, you know?
Yeah, well, the island is actually, it's an imaginary place, but there is actually a true place where we got the inspiration. It's an actual island in the Baltic Sea outside of Stockholm, where we took the inspiration to build our island. I'm not going to tell you the exact place, but it's a place where both Ida, who plays the bass, and Skinny guitar, they've been there a lot, and they've always told us these stories about this island, the actual island, and they were like scary and very interesting. So that's where we started with this concept, and then it grew into our imaginary island.
Okay, it's a good answer for me. It's a good answer. It's a really precise answer for me. I want to know because in 1 month you will release the album, okay?
Yes.
Have you planned some dates, some gigs to play to play at some venues in Europe, or it's a little bit too soon to talk about?
I don't have any dates, but our wish is definitely to play live. I think the music is definitely suited for live shows. So our hopes is definitely to play live as soon as possible, like next year, to do a tour. I think the music will be perfect live on stage. So,
guys, you listen Klara from the earth, and so if you want some dates of a European tour, so check it the social networks. That's simple as that.
That's correct.
But have you some and to end this interview, because the time will be off in some minutes. So I used to talk and to speak a little bit with my guests on some little questions about the personal musical influence advices of a guest. And I want to know when you start your to play guitar, to learn guitar lessons or something else. Have you imagined to have a musical career, a rich musical career like this today, actually?
I started playing guitar when I was maybe around 14.
Okay.
I played the piano a little bit before, but it was too boring to read music, and I wasn't great. Then my father showed me how to play like chords on the piano, and that was much more fun. So I used to we had this book with Beatles songs.
Yeah.
So I just played the chords and made up my own melodies because I didn't know the actual melodies. I just played the chords and sang the right words, but with the wrong melodies. And then as I started learning how to play the chords on the piano, I just went on doing the same with the guitar. So that's basically how it started. And then pretty quick, I had my first band, maybe at 14, 15, something like that. And I knew when I tried the electric guitar the first time, and I found the switch, and I stepped on the distortion, for the distortion switch, and I heard distorted guitar coming from me. I knew, okay, this is what I'm gonna do.
Are you taken by the wave of rock and roll?
yeah, and I was seduced by the distortion.
And I want to know because because I have in the past I've interviewed some artists. I quote an example. For example, I've interviewed Johannes from Avatar, or some other Scandinavian musicians, in the past, and they they told me many a little bit about the musical culture in Sweden, in Finland, in Norway, you know, and
Yeah.
and Sweden, and I discussed a little bit about my colleagues in WAM TV, my friends, my co-workers, and I want to know because in France, you know, in the high school, in the college, in the high school, uh, I don't know if it's again the case, but uh, we learn one instrument, the flute. You know, in France, it's
Okay.
a little bit sad because I see some reports. You know, some reports on Sweden because in the
Yeah.
school, high school, and college and universities, you know, and they play many instruments. So, is it a specificity in Sweden or in Scandinavia
Yeah,
in
you.
general?
I don't know how it is nowadays, but when I grew up,
Hmm?
all kids, when they started school, almost everyone started also playing an instrument.
Okay.
You went once a week to a school to either play the guitar, the piano, the flute, or whatever. You chose your instrument, and you
Okay.
went once a week. And it was like almost all kids did this, and I went every week to play the piano, and I think that has made Sweden like a country where a lot of people know how to play at least a little bit at one instrument, and then it was really good support in the school when I started to pick up the guitar. When I was 14, the staff at school were really supportive. They gave us space to rehearse, and they had staff to show us how the amps worked, how to tune a guitar, and it was all within like the normal public school. And I think a lot of people in Sweden has had this support when it comes to music, and I think that is a big factor in why Sweden is such a huge country when it comes to exporting music.
Okay. Okay, because in France, you know, and the high school, and the when I was, if I remember well, it's because I'm really interested, you know, because when I see other reports in other countries, you know, when the musical process and the musical education, you know, I
Yeah.
want to know, I want to have some information because in France, in college we have only one instrument, so we don't
Okay.
learn music at primary schools, you know.
Okay.
We want to know if we want to learn one instrument in college, it's the flute. So because when I
Okay.
grew up, when I was a teenage at 12 and 11 12, I learned the flute at the college,
Yeah.
but later
You still play the flute?
yeah, yeah, but it was a little bit boring.
No.
But,
But
yeah,
I like a lot of rock music that has flute. I mean, listen to Yes or Tal.
an example, I know it's one famous artist who play flute, a rock and roll artist. It's Kyle Gass on Tenacious D. Uh, with,
Okay.
with this other project band at the Kyle Gass band, the KGB, they have many some flute parts in the songs. So and for the people who's watching and listening to this interview, I advise you to listen the Kyle Gass band, really great band if you have not the opportunity to listen. So go check it out. Go check
Yeah.
them.
I recommend everyone who's interested in the flute to
Yeah.
listen to Yes or Tal.
So what kind of band? What band?
It's an old English band,
Yeah.
rock band, with like very progressive and also with the flute.
So you have a name, so you can check. I will go check too because I don't know really the band, so I will go check up this interview.
Okay, you have to check it out.
I will go check it out.
It's awesome.
So thank you thank you for the name. Thank you for this. Thank you for
Yeah.
this. I want to know a little bit question. to end this interview. So first of all, thank you so much for your time to answer
you.
on my questions, on my question about this.
Thank
I want
you for asking me.
no problem, no problem. It's a great pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And I want to know a little bit if you have some advices to the young bands, you know, the teenagers, girls and boys, and to
Yeah.
make to start the band and try to make a name in this musical business, because the business year after year became harder and harder. And
Yeah, I
it's
know.
have you some advices for them, for the young people, which start a band?
Yeah, find great people to do it with, so you're not alone. Great band members, or other, depending on what type of music you do, but try to surround yourself with people you love to work with. It's so much easier if it's hard or doesn't work out the way you want, then you at least have the support of your coworkers.
So
And it's much more fun to play with someone, and to you double up on creativity if you collaborate. So that's my advice.
So, thank you so much for your advice. Really appreciate it. I'm sure that people who are watching this interview really, really appreciate this advice. Thank you so much for this advice. I want to know to end this interview. So I thank you so much. So about this, and have you some words to end this interview for the people who discovered the Earth in this interview, or the people who follow you since the beginning of your musical career?
Yes, I would like to introduce all of you to our world of the island and the herd, and I hope you like it as much as we do. And we hope to see you on tour and in your speakers.
Yeah, it's good. And see you. I hope you will come to Paris, or maybe some dates in France. Then maybe Paris, or more dates in France, in other cities in France, other towns. So
yeah, we love France, so we hope to be here a lot.
So I hope so. And for people watching this interview, that was Tony with Klara from the Earth, and I finish this interview and say, welcome to the island.
Yes, that's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Klara.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.